the prettiest girl I ever saw was sipping cider through a straw. Was at the fair, the county fair, standing by the prizes there. I looked at her, she looked at me. I looked some more, and so did she. Said I do her, how do you do? Said she to me, thanks, how are you? Said I do her, if you don't care, may I escort you through the fair? We rode the ride, so big and tall. I held her close, she couldn't fall. Went to a show, out at that fair. I spent 3 bales of cotton there. Said I to her, oh, don't you know, that sipping cider's all the go. Said she to me, if that be true, then I'll sip cider here with you. So cheek to cheek, and jaw to jaw, we both sip cider through a straw. But best of all, that straw did slip, and I sipped cider from her lip.
Lonnie Joseph Huddleston's ancestors first arrived in this country from England about 1720. They were here for the Revolutionary War and every subsequent conflict until Lonnie himself served in World War II. First arriving in Norfolk, Virginia, they then migrated to the southern frontier, finding themselves in Tennessee from about 1810 to 1830. They were contemporary in that location with Davy Crockett and lived not far from him. It had been in 1786 that Dad's great-great-great-grandfather Benjamin Huddleston married a Cherokee Indian woman named Margaret Welch, and together they had lived their lives in the Cherokee Indian Nation in Tennessee. Benjamin was buried there in about 1840, and the rest of the family, for whatever reason, migrated to the Indian Nation in Alabama, where Margaret soon died and was buried. Some of Dad's ancestors migrated from Alabama to seek the new opportunities in Texas, but records indicate that Dad's direct line chose a different path.
About 1850, Joseph Slayton Huddleston took the family to Arkansas. It was in Salem, Arkansas, that Dad's father, James Forrest Huddleston, was born in 1892 to Joseph Green Huddleston and Rebecca Rowan, and in Ross, Arkansas, that his mother, Flora Alice Harmon, was born in 1893 to Samuel Alonzo Harmon and Laura Elizabeth Patton. Dad's family moved to Oklahoma around 1910, and Dad was born there, February 22nd, 1921, in Stidham. When Dad was about 4, his family migrated one final time to the verdant Willamette Valley of Oregon, where Dad lived an agricultural lifestyle with his parents and 12 siblings, 2 of whom died in infancy. Dad finished the 8th grade and found occupation in varied industries. He picked hops, cotton, apples, and also worked in logging. In 1942 he was inducted into the Army Air Force and was stationed in the Aleutian Islands. Dad was in the service until 1945, when he was released, having attained the rank of Staff Sergeant.
Prior to his entry into the service, his wanderings had led him into contact with a local girl whose name was Aletha Phyllis Bender. They were married in Salem, Oregon on November 26, 1947. It was a double wedding ceremony, for Dad's sister, Ollie Mae, was also ready for marriage. Dad supported his family faithfully over the years, mostly working in the same location for a company that changed hands several times. The young family lived behind Aletha's mother's house for a short time, until they were able to construct their own home on a section of property deeded to Aletha by her mother. The first structure was intended to house poultry, but Dad had vision, and the structure became the family home for more than 15 years, until a new home was built about 1965. During those 15-plus years, the young couple became a young family, as Bonnie, Jack, Sharon, Judy, Dwayne, and Diana came along. Over the years, Dad expressed himself in many ways. He had many hobbies, which always included his family. He wrote poetry, composed and sang songs, took his family camping, and wore out more than one handle on his trusty White's metal detector. Dad had a faith in God that he expressed consistently in what he wrote, said, and did. His expression of faith was often through a still small voice, but we always knew that Dad was one of God's own. He put in many hours working on the property, repairing his own vehicles, teaching his 6 children to drive, and just spending quality time with his loved ones. We remember our father with an affection that goes way beyond fondness, or even love as it is known by the world. Dad is, to us, a part of who we are, a part that we will always carry close to our hearts.
Late last night as I went down to get me a chicken or two, when I heard the old shotgun, I sure did skidoo. Grabbed my sack and I made for the door, but I didn't get away in time. As I went around the corner of the barn, boy, I sure got mine. Got the chicken roost blues.
You can do it.
I got sitting by the fire when I heard someone outside. He came through the gate and up on the porch like he jumped out of my hide. The sheriff came up and he knocked on the door along about 2:30. I said, Mr. Sheriff, what do you want? He said, I've come for you. Grabbed my clothes, jumped out the window, and I started off to run. About that time he grabbed me by the collar, said, I got you, son of a gun. Now I serve my 90 days and it's home sweet home to me. Gonna get me another sack of chickens the day that I get free.